You know, when I was in grade school, I was fat, nerdy, and really didn't have a lot of friends. In fact, I remember going through grade school and there was never a girl that ever gave me like a Valentine's Day present or any way show she was remotely interested in me. So I made this decision at this age that I was gonna have to be good at something. Because, you know, this is the 80s, right? Nobody was feeling us dark-skinned guys. And so I was like, I need to become good at school. So I went from a C and D student to one of the top 5 students in the grade. I'm gonna be honest with you, the girls still didn't like me. But I really made this decision, right, to go from, you know, after school, playing with my friends and TV and stuff in my face, to actually taking the time from when I get home until I finish my homework to do nothing else. See, I learned that when you make a routine, you will build habits that actually build success. What do you think is the best driver of success? Is it motivation or is it discipline? Like I talked about me in grade school. Well, you saw the thumbnail and the title of this video, so you know what I think about it. So let's get at it. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson and welcome to the Legacy Gentleman YouTube channel. Here is something we need to all come to grips with. We make things happen in life, not because we're actually motivated to make them happen, but truly world-changing things happen because you have the discipline to make things happen. So gentlemen, think about this example. One of the greatest men in American history, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Now, I'm sure he had some level of motivation when he was out there proclaiming that black people deserve the same civil rights as everyone else. But when the dogs came and the fire hose and the threats to his family, you know what really kept him going? It was most likely the discipline against all those odds and not really just this motivation thing. See, when it comes to changing the world, I really don't think that when push comes to shove that it's their motivation to change the world is what drives them. It is really their commitment to make the world better. So gentlemen, if you've not heard this before, discipline is far more important than motivation. See, first you make the decision to do a thing, then you make a commitment to follow through with it, and then that commitment changes who you are. So I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. Motivation is important. It is actually very important. But it also is kind of overrated because see, when you face adversities and hard times, motivation tends to fade. And the thing that's going to pull you through is your strong commitment to your purpose. Gentlemen, here's another idea. Don't let neglect grab you by the throat and stall you from the path of your purpose. Gentlemen, you probably don't have everything you need right now to fully accomplish your purpose. But don't neglect the steps that'll help you get there in the future. Work hard every day to get a little more ready. Learn a little today, and day by day, and step by step, you will get there. But if you neglect, if you go by your feelings and don't work because, you know, you're not really feeling like it and you get behind on yourself and on your purpose, see, guys, we have got to fight that tendency. And fighting that tendency is what discipline is. So gentlemen, here's an analogy. So you have to walk 2 miles, right? But it's a really foggy day and all you can see is 100 feet ahead of you. So what do you do to get to that second 100 feet? Yes, you walk the first 100 feet so you can see the next 100 feet. That's the next 100 feet you can see so you can walk. And then you know what? Once you get through that second 100 feet, you get to the end and boom, you can see another 100 feet. And you do that until you finish that 2 miles. See, this is what life is like. You have a goal and you work toward it. As you execute as much as you can, once you're done with that, I promise you, you'll be able to execute a little bit more. And you know what? This is what doing the best you can looks like. When you make a habit to do your best, you grow better and better every day. That's what we're talking about here, gentlemen, discipline. So discipline yourself to do the best you can every time and you will absolutely see results. See, gentlemen, discipline is a magic word. And really, it is one of those magic words that stand out above all other magic words. Discipline is the bridge that stands between your thoughts and your accomplishments. It is that bridge between inspiration and accomplishment. It is the bridge between necessity and productivity. See, in life, we experience temporary setbacks, and sometimes we even miss the fulfillment of our goals. But failure, that ever-lingering enemy, does not happen due to one event. See, commonly there's a series of events and a series of concessions we make that actually culminate into this failure that we all sometimes feel like is right on the horizon. Failure is not the thing that happens because of the L we took today. No, it happens because we don't care enough to strive on through our failures. When we fail to keep climbing, when we fail to keep trying, when we fail to keep pressing, that is when failure actually comes upon us. And you are better than that. Yeah, I know. A lot of times people make you think failure comes out of the blue skies. But think about this, man. You ever set a goal for yourself? Like, say you like, hey, I want to be an author. I want to write a book. And I'm going to set this goal and I'm going to write 500 words a day. And you do that for like a week or like 2 weeks. And then one day you're like, oh, I got this writer's block, or I got a doctor's appointment, or I just had a crazy busy day and I only write 400 words. And you're like, it's just one day. 400 words, and then, you have something twice as much happen the next week, and you're like, you know what? Today I only got time to write 200 words. And you make yourself to say that that's all right. See, that is when you start to let failure creep into your life, and you have to not let that happen. Maybe you're not a writer, because writing's pretty hard, and who does that? Maybe you're a salesman, and you're like, you know what? I gotta do 50 cold calls a day to actually get my lead funnel going. And so you do that for like 2 weeks. You're like, oh, I'm hitting it, 50 cold calls. I get, 3 or 4 leads from that. And, this comes in the beginning anyway. And so one day you get busy, you actually got an appointment or something, and you're only able to get to 40 cold calls for the day. And you're like, I can do 40 cold calls a day, but you know what? That's fine. And then, you know what? 2 weeks later, you kind of get busy, something else happens, you get 30 cold calls you do. And then if you're not paying attention, at some point you're down to doing 10 cold calls a day. And you know what? Your sales funnel dries up. And you're like, you know what? The economy's so bad and all this stuff's happened. I just can't keep doing this sales job. So this is a thing that happens sometimes. Low motivation creeps in and you start doing less of the stuff that would actually make you successful, and you have this loss of discipline and you're no longer working towards your goal. That is when failure actually creeps in. These small failures really do look like nothing, right? But if you take these small failures and you expand them out for a week or for months, for years, or even a lifetime, you end up with a wasted life because you never had the discipline to commit to the things throughout your life that would have made you successful. Your plans you had, you just unfortunately didn't follow through with them. My brothers, this is unfortunate because a lot of people's lives are like this. Their lives are filled with dreams and ambitions that they just don't have the discipline to actually execute it. But gentlemen, this is a simple thing to fix. It's not easy, but it's definitely simple. And when you do it, it will make you legendary, which is the purpose of this channel. Just do the opposite of what I previously described. If you're supposed to write 500 words a day and one day you write 400 words, then for the next 3 days, write 600 words. If your goal is to make 50 cold calls a day and then on Monday you only had time to make 30, then for the rest of the week, make 60 cold calls. Gentlemen, this is what discipline looks like, and you have to live it every day. It is like unlocking the magic keys to success, sophistication, high society, and your goals. Gentlemen, today I've talked about the need to have discipline over motivation. Look, I know motivation seems very sexy and is one of those things that when you see it, it energizes you and you make you want to just get on top of it. But there's an ugly everyday thing that most people don't get excited about, and that is what discipline is. Gentlemen, it is far more important for you to cultivate discipline in your life over motivation. So make that your goal today, to build some discipline that will actually lead you to success. I want to thank you very much for watching. I would love to hear what your opinion is on motivation versus discipline. If you want more content like this, because these are the type of videos that we make on this channel, we're making men whose values, skills, and works will be admired and desired 1,000 years from now. that's something you want to be a part of, please subscribe to this channel. And my brothers, thank you very much. Hey, go be legendary.